Okay, we were talking about the filter system that's on the pump, and when this basket gets full in here, or not full, but when you get debris floating around, it'll accumulate on the basket inside your pump. And I'm not going to turn it off just because I don't want to go through the procedure, but you simply shut off the pump. You should have a breaker box near your pump. You shut off the pump, you'll open up the lid, and then turn your open up the lid, take out the basket, spray it out, put it back together, and you're done. Another thing to do is, after you clean that, about every week or two, you ought to run your pump in reverse, or not pump in reverse, but you need to run your filter backwards. And what you do is you go to backwash, turn this top knob with the pump off again, that way, turn your pump back on, and what it does is it runs the water same way from the pump into the filter, except for it goes to the bottom of the filter first, pumps it back up to the top, and then ejects the dirty water through a drain, which probably goes out in the back of your yard or into the city sewer system. So right now we're building very little pressure, but we're backwashing. We're taking dirty contaminants out of the tank into the ground. So after you've done that for about a minute, shut your pump back off, go back to filter. Make sure you put it on filter and not on backwash, or you'll empty your pool in a couple hours. Then you turn the pump back on. So that takes care of that. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple stuff. You'll know when your filter needs backwashed when the pressure on your tank goes up from where it normally runs. Mine runs at 20 normally. When it gets up around 22 or 3, I'll backwash to keep the filter clean. So if you don't backwash your filter properly, it can foul the filter, and then you'll have to replace the filter, and that's really a waste because it's so easy to do. So now that we're pumping well and filtering, show you a little more here. We were talking about sweeping earlier, and sweeping, you can manually do it. I prefer not to. The main reason that I don't like to sweep is you got to drag out all the equipment, hook it up to your skimmer system. You got to slowly hook it to the skimmer so you don't break the prime on the pump, and it's just a pain in the rear. What I bought instead is this Polaris. I believe it's I think it's the 9400. We'll take a look here. Polaris automatic pool sweeper. Yeah, it's the 9400 Sport. And I set it for an hour and a half a while ago. It's got 55 minutes to go according to the display. And what this does is it runs on 24 volts, plugs into the wall, converts the power to 24 volts, and shoots it to this four-wheel drive robot. And this robot just kind of randomly, well, not randomly, it goes through a program actually where it does multiple turns. It'll do 90 degrees, then a 180, then a 270, and the idea is that it'll eventually cover the whole pool. Right now I have it set to just do the bottom of the pool and the sidewalls, but not to scrub the sidewalls. This thing will actually climb the sidewalls and scrub the top edge for 4 or 5 seconds each time it climbs it if you want it to. I'm more concerned, I do that about once a year, usually the beginning of the year, to get the any scum line that's on the walls, but for the most part I just let it go and do the bottom and sides, but not actually scrub the sides. So what's nice about this one, I had a Dolphin that I tried. It was a good unit. I preferred this unit because it seems to not flip over as much. Some of these units, when they get on the stairs, they'll flip over, and I found the Dolphin had a hard time righting itself once it flipped over, whereas this here seems to right itself very quickly if it does flip over. And I've only actually seen it once flip over due to it on its own. I flipped it over a few times on myself just to see it recover, but I've only seen it actually once flip over. So it's really pretty neat. It has another neat feature of this. It has a basket cartridge that once it's done, you just hit a button, you hit this lift button, right in the center here, a little white button. And this lift button tells the unit to climb the wall and stay there at the top, and then you just pull it out and you lift a basket out. And that's really interesting because the basket, you just pull it right out. It has a, you spray it out with a hose, put it back in, and you're done. It's really a nice feature, really simple to use. So, and here, let's just check it out a little further. Put my gear on here. So as you see, even if it flips over, I flipped it over intentionally. It does just fine. comes out, flips itself over with the jet in the back. And if you notice, when it hit the light at the end of the pool, it didn't flip over too. The Dolphin I have would flip over. So I'll hit the lift system here. Hit the button. Unit will come out of the water. Here it comes. It'll come to the top. And as you can see, it'll just stay here. You simply grab the handle, let it drain the water, put it on the shore, pull open the top, and there's your filter bag. As you can see, filter bag's got quite a bit of stuff in it, even though the pool was cool, or it looked clean. Then I'll just take that filter out, put it back in the unit, or spray it out, put it back in the unit, and we're done. That's probably the best investment in the pool if you want simplicity, is this unit. They're about 1,100 bucks, but it literally cleans the pool itself. It takes you 5 minutes to throw it in, get it going, and then to clean it and put it away. So very easy, simple, no work. So there you go. Hope that helps. Again, recapping, you need to keep or get your alkalinity right to start with, and then you need to maintain your pH around 7.2 to 7.4, and then you need to keep your chlorine level at about 3 to 4 parts per million in the pool, and a 5 in the hot tub is good. And you need to shock. With your chlorine generator, you can shock your pool by running it 24 hours and then just turn it to its normal rate, and in the hot tub use an oxidizing shock. So there you are. Hope that helps. Still a nice day. I'm going swimming some more.